Hi everyone. So if you're watching this video right now, I know there's one thing for sure, that Australia is in your mind, right? And your future is weighing heavy on your heart. Maybe you're planning to study in Australia in 2026. Or maybe your visa file is already lodged and you're checking your email every morning that when your visa is going to be there, right? Or maybe your parents are worried after hearing 10 different stories from relatives, agents, and social media especially, right? So somewhere inside your head, there is a quiet but scary thought running on loop again and again, that what if my visa gets refused? What if the rules suddenly change again? What if all this planning, money and effort goes to waste and becomes zero? Now, let me tell you something honestly. These thoughts, they do not mean you're becoming weak. They mean you care about your future, your family's future, and your family's sacrifices especially. Over the last year, Australia has made serious different changes to student visas, migration rules, education providers, and agent systems too. So some people are spreading fear again and again, and that's their job particularly. So some agents are lying, and many students are getting stuck in this confusion, what's happening all over. So today, I'm not here to hype you or scare you on any particular points. I'm here to give you clarity, calm, grounded, and elder brother advice which I can give you from my end. By the end of this video, you will know whether Australia still makes sense for you to come and how to approach its education system in the right way. So, let's go forward. Hey guys, hello, welcome back to another video. This is your KapsLock, and today we are back with another video. As I mentioned before this start, that we have so many things to cover, but just to tell you, there's 9 more days, then I will be back in Melbourne in Australia, because I came here for a visit as my brother's wedding. So I'm posting different vlogs on the other channel. If you haven't seen that channel, link is in the description and in the pinned comment. Go check it out. And additionally, podcasts are coming side by side on different topics like MBA, RMIT, La Trobe, different universities, different business types. So there's so many things that coming. So what you can do is just go to that podcast channel and maybe check if I made a video on your particular topic that you need. I believe I have made already, because I've made so many topics already. So go and have a check out. But anyway, coming back to the main point first, genuine students are welcome still in Australia. How? Let's start with the most important truth. Australia has not stopped welcoming international students. Yes, people are spreading misinformation, but it's not the truth. What Australia has stopped tolerating is dishonesty, shortcuts, and non-genuine students making their way with fake documentation, with fake files, with unclear financial backgrounds and different things. Australian ministers have clearly said this during recent visits to India too, that if a student is genuine, academically capable, and financially prepared, then their application will receive fair consideration, right? So when Australia use the word genuine, they do not mean you need to be perfect in every segment. No, they just mean you to be honest. Someone who's actually coming to study and make a future here to help himself and Australia in a way to have a great future, as I mentioned before. So attending your classes, completing the degree, building skills, doing part-time jobs too, living good life. That's what Australia needs you from as an international student perspective, right? So a genuine profile is one where your documents match a story, not just anything that you write randomly. Your finance makes sense, your course aligns with your background, and sometimes if it doesn't, you make a way in, maybe through internships, maybe through jobs, to show it like you actually want to do this degree, even if you did something else in the background. Nothing looks forced or fake. If they see anything that looks forced or fake, you will get rejected. Anyway, at the same time, Australia has zero tolerance policy for fraud right now, right? So fake bank accounts, fake bank statements, fake IELTS, fake PT scores, borrowed funds for a few days from someone, and agents manipulating documents behind your back are being caught more than ever, because AI is everywhere. They have different softwares now. They're catching people randomly any day. They're still deporting people as well. And they're actually using this random softwares by different universities to check if the student is still doing their degree properly, getting the proper credits in the study part, yes or no. So now I will tell you one thing. If an agent tells you visa guaranteed, or no IELTS is needed, or funds are not required, please understand this clearly, that this agent is not protecting you. They're risking your future just to gain some money. That's true. It's sad, but that's true. A visa refusal is not just an emotional pain. It stays on record. If once you get a visa refusal, it's gonna hamper you when you're gonna apply again. You need to be more perfect formed with more documentation if you're reapplying. Anyway, for that sense, I already made video how to reapply and if you get refusal, what to do. Anyway, it affects future visas, as I mentioned, tourist visas as well, and even permanent residency pathways in the future if you try to get it. Australia is still safe. High quality education is still there. It's a great destination to be. But now only for those who clean, prepared and honest. If you are amongst these 3 points, it's fine for you. Well, anyway, another point. Australia is not a cheap country. Yes, you need to understand now. Let's talk about money. So, because there is many students and families struggle the most related to the money aspect. So, Australia offers world-class education. That's true. But it also comes with high living costs. That's also true. Rent, food, transport, health insurance, textbooks, daily expenses, they are getting up daily, adding up faster day by day. And most people expect that it's not going to be going up easily, but they are doing up. In the past, many students came with just one semester fees, right? And hoped that they would manage somehow by working and getting their fees sorted. That model no longer works actually. Sorry, but it's not working properly now. Australia has intentionally moved away from it. Why? So, for that reason, for collecting the fees, there's so many students in the past who have actually changed their studies from a higher education provider to a lower education provider, or they have skipped their classes just to gain some more money to pay the fees. That mainly hampers the main reason why you're coming to Australia, which is the study part. So if you're hampering your study, that relates to the student visa. So there's no point of you being there, according to them, not according to me, according to the immigration department. So that's why they intentionally force the universities to have their strong structure of course, strong checking on the credits, strong checking on the assignments, and failing the students to make them realize that please put your pressure mainly on the study as you're coming here for the study part. Anyway, so student work hours are capped at 48 hours per fortnight and enforcement has become stricter. You cannot plan your education assuming you will work illegally or full-time without letting anyone know. So a strong student visa application usually shows that you can support yourself for at least 1 full year without depending heavily on the part-time job income. Yes, initially it used to be just 6 months, but if you have already applied for a visa, make sure to remember that try to show at least 1 year of your tuition fees in your bank accounts or in your FDs or in your other parts. That shows that worst case scenario, you have the money to pay the fees. And it should be genuine, means it should be yours, not by taking someone else's in your account. Anyway, so practically speaking, this often means showing around 20 to 25 lakhs depending on your course and city with clear logical source of funds, as I mentioned before. Ideally, most students know this, but if you don't, most of this funding should come from your parents' savings, fixed deposits, or a legitimate education loan source. And let me say this clearly. Taking an education loan is not a failure. Yes, please, people think it's a failure. No, it's not. Taking a loan, it's fine. It's often a responsible decision. Sometimes people have money and they still take loan. For example, if a wedding is coming in my home, right? For example, it's an example. And then for that reason, I need to pay fees of my study too. And for the wedding reason, I need money to pay for all the expenses of the wedding. So in this scenario, I can still take loan and go out and study, and on side by side my parents can use their money to do the wedding part. So you're getting my point. Anyway, Australia wants students to study peacefully and not survive in panic just because of this funds reason, just because of this financial reasons. What is risky is sending a student abroad with insufficient funds and unrealistic expectations that leads to stress, illegal work, poor academic performance, and sometimes visa cancellation, and finally deporting. So not do it. Anyway, now academics and English requirements. So let's talk on this. Australia also expects students to be academically prepared for the course they are applying for. This is not about being a topper. It is about being capable of the course or having the basic knowledge of what you're actually going to be doing. That mainly filters out in the interview part, but anyway, in most cases, you need portfolio. In most cases, students with around 60 to 65% or higher in their previous qualification have stronger chances to get the visas and get COE and get offer letters in the particular universities if they have seats. Especially when their academic history shows consistency. Yes, when you're consistent about your study, you're fine. Course progression matters a lot. If you're changing your field again and again, you need a clear and logical explanation of why you're doing so and how this new course fits into your long-term plan. Yes, I always say when you're doing doctorate part before and then you suddenly come into mathematics, make a way, make a bridge between them, not just randomly apply for it, Masters of Management or Masters of Mathematics, something. No, they will check it, they will say, you're doing doctorate degree, and now you're changing into Masters. Give me the reason, otherwise, visa refusal. You might get the offer letter, you might get the COE from university, but you might not get the visa because immigration is the one who's checking it. Anyway, course progression matters a lot as I mentioned. So now let's talk about English because this is most important things many students do not realize. So English is not just a visa requirement. Trust me, it is essential for understanding lectures, assignments, writing, participating in group work, and even doing your part-time jobs, especially when you're doing something in retail or in security or in other parts as well. You need to have fluency in your English. Be confident. You don't need to have particular accent, but you can, especially focusing on the correct words, be fluent enough to understand and speak. You might not get the accent on the first day because Australian accent is pretty different, but you can still try to speak and learn from them. Anyway, Australia has tightened English requirements across student visas, everyone knows, work visas and permanent residency visas as well. IELTS, PTE, TOEFL scores must be real and valid, not should be fake. Shortcuts like medium of instruction letters are usually not enough. So strong English skills reduce stress, improve academic results, and help you score better points for later if you're applying for the PR. Course selection matters. Yes, as I mentioned before, one of the biggest mistakes students making is choosing a course simply because it looks easy or because everyone else is doing it. At the time, there was instances when people can see everyone was going into accounting or in chef. It's not the time anymore. Try to pick something that's actually demanded. For example, biodegradable energy, AI. These terms are new. Biodegradable is not too much new, but it's required. Mining, it's required, especially in Perth. So there are examples. Anyway, research by yourself. And if you need me to make a video on these particular courses that are really high in demand and shows great aspects of getting PR and getting great job and great money and great future, tell me in the comment section, I will make a video. Coming back, Australia is now strongly encouraging students to enroll in quality skill-based programs that lead to real career opportunities, even in Australia or even in worldwide. Fields like engineering, IT, data analytics, health, teaching, science are prioritized because they contribute to the economy and the workforce of Australia. Australia has 9 universities in the world's top 100. So its degrees are recognized globally. As I mentioned, if you do this degree and if you do this particular job role, you can go anywhere globally. For example, Australian engineering degrees are accredited under the Washington Accord, meaning that they are accepted in many countries without additional licensing exams. So you're investing years of your life and often your parents' lifetime savings too. So course selection is not about what is easiest. It is about what still matter in the 10 years from now, the day you're looking at this video. A challenging course builds resilience and skills. So an easy course may get you visa, but not a career that you might dream of. Now, let's talk some part on the fraud. So over the past few years, Australia noticed that students entered the country, stopped studying shortly after arrival, changed their course, some dropped out, some switched to low quality colleges that I mentioned before. Other students focused only on working illegally and getting the money. Because of this, scrutiny increased. Yes, universities now conduct interviews properly with more than 2 people. Verify intent and check whether students genuinely want to study. Now universities have CAP. So they need to have the genuine students because it's about their reputation too. Immigration authorities use data analysis and automated systems to flag suspicious applications, as I mentioned before. You may be asked why you choose this course, why you choose this university, and what are your plans after your graduation. And please don't mention you're going to be applying for PR. If your intentions are genuine and your preparation is solid, these questions are not a threat. They are an opportunity to show seriousness. Some part which I want to mention related to agent system cleanup. So Australia is also tightening rules around education agents through changes in the ESOS Act. Onshore agents who used to push students into changing colleges for just their commission are now under close monitoring. Offices are getting shut down. This change is meant to protect students from being exploited and treated like business transactions. They are human, man. Come on. As a student, your responsibility is to focus on completing the degree you came here for. You started and not chasing short-term money. Avoid anyone who promises you shortcuts related to money or related to degree. Stick to official processes and ethical guidance. Please, and use your brain. Now, some positive news. UNSW in India. Yes, now let's talk about something really positive. One of the Australia's top universities, UNSW, is opening a campus in Bangalore in 2026. Yes, I've read some articles, they said that. This shows Indian students to study an Australian degree in India with the same curriculum and academic standards. And you might do the abroad study, like some part here of the degree and some part in Australia. You never know. Anyway, it reduces financial risk and gives family more confidence. It shows how Australia is strengthening its relation with India, not just stepping away, and also giving the best quality education possible. So to summarize, conclusion, Australia has not closed its doors yet. It has just raised its standards. So you need to meet that. If you're honest, prepared, and serious about education, Australia is still one of the best options in the world. Prepare properly, apply honestly, and when you go, make your education count. Have your great future and your study. This is KapsLock signing off, and I hope you understood these points. I will be back in Australia soon. Make sure to watch the vlogs if you haven't. Links are in the pinned comment. This is KapsLock again. Like this video. Share this video with someone who's thinking or is going to Australia. He or she needs to know these points. Subscribe to the channel for more updates, points, and information. For podcasts, for different stories, go to the other channel, the KapsLocks. Like, share, and subscribe. This is KapsLock. Signing off. Bye.